Emperor Vexthor of the Caltharian Empire leaned back in his crystalline throne, his four eyes gleaming with malicious amusement. The holographic image of Ambassador Chen Wei flickered before him, the human's face carefully neutral as he listened to the terms of the diplomatic exchange. As a gesture of goodwill, Vexthor announced, his translator rendering his chittering speech into flat, emotionless English, I shall send one of my own bloodline to serve as cultural liaison on your primitive world. What the Emperor didn't mention, and what his entire court knew, was that he was sending Zira, his youngest daughter. Born without the bioluminescent patterns that allowed Caltharians to communicate complex emotions, she was considered defective, an embarrassment. In their society, one who could not properly display the shifting colors of thought and feeling was barely considered sentient. It was the perfect insult disguised as an honor. 3 weeks later, Zira's pod descended into the Terran atmosphere, landing at the human diplomatic compound in Geneva. She emerged slowly, her movements careful and measured, her gray skin dull where it should have shimmered with communicative light. Ambassador Chen waited at the base of the ramp, and she braced herself for the contempt she'd known her entire life. Welcome to Earth, Princess Zira, Chen said, bowing slightly. I hope your journey was comfortable. She stared at him, confused. His face showed warmth. Her vocal translator, rarely used among her own people, crackled to life. I am. Manageable. Good, Chen smiled. I've prepared quarters for you. I hope you'll find them suitable. If there's anything you need to feel more at home, please don't hesitate to ask. In the weeks that followed, Zira waited for the other shoe to drop, for the human to reveal his true feelings. But it never came. Instead, Chen treated her with a patience and respect that bewildered her. One evening, he found her in the compound's garden, her shoulders trembling in what Caltharians would recognize as deep distress, if they bothered to notice her at all. May I sit? Chen asked. She nodded, not trusting her translator. I received a message from your father today, Chen said carefully. He wanted to know if you were performing adequately as a functional liaison. Zira's three-fingered hands clenched. Of course. Her father's cruelty knew no bounds. I told him, Chen continued, that you've been extraordinary. Your insights into Caltharian culture have been invaluable. Your patience in teaching me your people's history and customs has been remarkable. You don't have to lie to spare my feelings, Zira whispered. I know what I am. Defective. Broken. My own people barely acknowledge my existence. Chen was quiet for a moment. Do you know what we humans say? Disability is often just a mismatch between a person and their environment. You're not broken, Zira. Your society is. She turned to look at him, truly look at him for the first time. His eyes held no pity, no disgust, only genuine conviction. On Earth, Chen continued, we've learned that different doesn't mean less. Some humans can't see, so we developed languages of touch. Some can't hear, so we created languages of gesture. Some think differently, and they've given us our greatest innovations. We've learned to adapt our world to include everyone, not force everyone to fit one narrow definition of normal. Over the following months, Chen introduced Zira to Earth's diversity. She met scientists who used wheelchairs, artists who were blind, musicians who were deaf. Each one accomplished, respected, and valued by their communities. She attended a university lecture given by a professor with autism, whose unique perspective had revolutionized quantum computing. How? She asked Chen one day. How did humans learn this? Painfully, he admitted, through centuries of mistakes and cruelty. But eventually, we realized that our differences make us stronger, that everyone has something to contribute if we just make space for them. Zira began to flourish. Chen noticed she had an extraordinary memory for detail and a gift for analysis that Caltharians, obsessed with their color displays, had completely overlooked. She started contributing to trade negotiations, her logical mind cutting through emotional posturing that often derailed talks. When the annual Caltharian diplomatic review arrived, Emperor Vexthor's hologram materialized, expecting to mock his daughter's failures. Instead, Chen stood beside Zira, a stack of successful agreements hovering in holographic display between them. Your daughter has been instrumental in forging the most productive human-Caltharian relations in history, Chen said firmly. Her unique perspective and analytical abilities have proven invaluable. Vexthor's skin flickered with confused colors. Unique? She's defective. She's exceptional, Chen interrupted, his voice hard. And if the Caltharian Empire cannot see that, perhaps it's the Empire that's lacking, not her. The transmission ended in a burst of static, but Zira barely noticed. Something had shifted inside her. For the first time in her life, she felt seen. Thank you, she whispered to Chen. For what? For treating me like someone who matters. Chen smiled. You do matter, Zira. You always did. Some of us just needed to be human enough to see it. Zira remained on Earth, eventually becoming the first Caltharian to earn a human doctorate in diplomatic relations. Her dissertation, Beyond Bioluminescence, Alternative Communication Models for Inclusive Society, became required reading in the Galactic Diplomatic Corps. And when other species sent their defective members to Earth, the ones they wanted to hide away, they found something unexpected, a planet where disability was accommodated, difference was celebrated, and everyone was given the chance to prove their worth. Emperor Vexthor had meant to insult humanity by sending them his broken daughter. Instead, he'd given them exactly what they'd always specialized in, taking what others discarded and revealing its true value. In the end, the joke was on him.